Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with me, your host. My name is Chad Medved. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here as usual. We got some stuff to talk about this week, some good stuff to talk about. First thing is first, Turner Dairy Farms, you know, the pride of Pittsburgh whenever it comes to premium iced tea, I'll tell you that. They are, constantly pumping out heat. They are doing a art competition. So for anyone that is an artist, creative, anything like that, you can go to turnerdairy.net and you could check out the 50 carton competition. So if you submit your design, I believe that everyone is going to be posted up and voted, but the winner will, I believe you win $2,000, and then your design goes out on paper cartons of Turner's tea. I mean, as a Pittsburgher, I don't know what accolade is more important than that. Maybe besides being painted on the wall in Permanis, but besides that, I mean, it's a big deal. I'm excited to see some more of the designs. I looked at them a while ago, and there was already like a good handful of like a bunch of awesome different stuff. So turnerdairy.net, hop on there, and you could check out some more details. But if you're not an artist, slide on down to the bodega and grab yourself a Turner's Premium Tea. Why not? So what else do we got to talk about? We got so much stuff to talk about. So I'm throwing a party. This is episode. What episode is this? 186, I believe. Let me look real quick. Oh, this is 187. 187, episode 187. So obviously we're rolling up right around 200. So I'm throwing a banger. I'm renting out Streets on Carson. If you do not know what Streets on Carson is, crawl out from under a rock. Very delicious restaurant in the heart of Southside. They are, close friends. I love them. I really do. They run a great establishment down there. So we're going to go down there and we're going to have a party. March 24th, 6 to question mark. The who's who of the city will be there, hopefully at least, and you're invited. So if you're free, grab a babysitter, get your dogs a babysitter, get your kids a babysitter, and come on down and party with us. I would love to see you. But the reason that everyone is here this week, we got a special guest. This week I sit down with Arie Cole. So Arie Cole he's a creative for sure, but he is a DJ in the city who runs, a plethora of different events, as far as like different shows he produces, but super cool dude. I came across him back a year or two ago from one of the mixes he did, people in this world of chaos with this pandemic, people have pivoted and became more creative and more innovative. So, people will hop on Instagram Live and throw a whole show. And, that's what he does. And he's dope. Like, he'll mix together, your old, like, classic songs with some stuff you've never heard of. And I believe, one of the other people that I follow on here was sharing his stuff, and it caught my ear. And, I was on, he was on my radar ever since. So finally got down to a good conversation with him. I was happy that he was able to come on out, and it's cool to talk to a DJ regardless. I can talk to 50 different ones, and it'll always be interesting because it's just fun to learn how people get to, how they're doing what they're doing. And he has a cool story as well. Like, he was a, artist as far as like a visual artist, wanted to become an animator, then switched to being graphic design, and then now he's a DJ. And I mean, it's cool to hear, the journey through it all, because he's very talented at what he does, and I'm excited to, keep following along with what he does. I'm excited to just go to an event. You know what I mean? He runs an event called Slappers and Bangers, and I've never been there, but I've heard great things, and I'm excited. Next one he throws, I'm going to be there, and it's going to be, it's going to be lit. But I'll quit talking everyone's ear off. I'm pumped about it, though. Very thankful for everyone that's listening. Very thankful for all the opportunities as usual. And I'm excited about the party. I urge you to come down and, have a good time with us. If you have, I don't know, it's a little bit over a month. Wait, what's today? Today's the 23rd. We got it's a month. It's a month today. You got a month for it. Plan ahead. But without further ado, episode 187 of I'll Call You Right Back podcast with Arie Cole.
I gotta use the telephone.
Hello?
Telephone.
I'll call you right back.
Telephone.
I'll Call You Right Back podcast. Be the first of the year.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I came across you late. Like, I feel like I know exactly. I kind of hone in where I come across people, and it was December 24th, 2020. You posted a Christmas remix that probably someone that I follow. I think Cody Baker actually reposted it, and I remember listening to that, and you were like, playing on it. I was like, this is dope, and I just didn't know. I never heard of you before that, and then I've been following you ever since that.
Jeez, thank you.
Absolutely. How long you been doing this?
I've been doing it since 2015.
2015.
Yeah, August 2015 was my first gig.
Now, I go through people's social medias. I see, all the old work you did and kind of building it up. But, I basically have people on to kind of figure out, how you got to where you got. What were you doing before this? It's probably a loaded question.
No, yeah. I was doing graphic design stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you an artist at trade?
Yeah, I am. I went to Edinburgh for animation, and
wow.
Yeah, when animation wasn't quite working out, I tried graphic design, and so that's what I really took to.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that you got music in your family. I know that
did your homework.
I did. I know Don Wade is. I know that was your grandfather.
Yeah.
I was listening to some of that music, and I know that you definitely got music in the family. But I was curious if that was something that you were always, into from a young age.
Yeah, I've always been into music.
Probably hard not to with a grandfather with talent like that. I saw a video you posted playing the pianos and singing. Yeah, unreal.
Yeah. I mean, that's him. And then his daughter, my mom, was in choirs, and she would play the piano too. My dad was a singer, or is a singer. I mean, they're both still singers. And he actually was a DJ, a gospel DJ.
Really?
Yeah, he had a couple shows on AM, an AM gospel channel.
That's dope.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I've been around music and DJing for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, did you know that this was something that you wanted to do full time? I mean, I feel like, I always start these conversations off the same where it's 99% of the people that I talk to are doing stuff that they didn't think that they would ever be doing, What did you plan on doing when you were younger? What were your hopes and dreams in the beginning?
Yeah, I didn't really know what I knew I wanted to be an artist. I've always wanted to be some sort of visual artist. When I was in elementary school, I drew all 150 Pokemon and
you were into Pokemon?
Yeah.
How old are you?
Please, I think it dropped when I was in 5th grade.
No, I mean, how old are you now?
How old am I now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how old were you when you were drawing Charizard?
Yeah. No, I'm 34 now.
Okay, yeah. So I'm 31, so we're pretty much in the same, in the same generation of all the pop culture and everything like that.
Yeah.
I was never really, I collected Pokemon. I never really played it though. I played Magic the Gathering. Were you familiar with that?
I'm familiar, but I've never played Magic. I played Yu-Gi-Oh though.
Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh was kind of the set. It was Pokemon, and then Yu-Gi-Oh, and then Magic was.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just weirder. I just had older relatives, so it's they got me into it like that.
I had some of the Magic cards, but I've never put it together to play it.
Yeah. I mean, now Pokemon was mainstream. I never thought we'd be talking about Pokemon right now. It's crazy. It's coming back.
Pokemon is my DJ origin story.
Is it?
No.
I was like, here it is. Like, this is why you were watching the trainers and you were like, man, this song's fire. We got to put it together.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Went to Penn Hills.
Penn Hills.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's weird because like you know you got to try to pick a career, things like that. I know you said you went to school for animation. You know, when did art come into play? I mean, you said very young, but it's like
Very young, yeah.
You know, like what got you into it?
I'm not honestly. I've been drawing ever since I could remember, and so I don't really know what got me into art.
That's
I
sick.
think I was just I've always
You still
been around
draw?
it a little bit when I need to. I'm designing my own website right now, so there's been a little bit of drawing with that, and then
Nice.
I also I design most of the Slappers and Bangers flyers.
Yeah, I like it. I used a similar graphic on one of my stickers of the Scream from the Scary Movie.
Yeah, Neil
with the
designed that
Doritos.
one. Yeah,
Dope for sure. Now, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into all the DJing stuff and like you putting together all this, but I'm more curious. Like in the beginning, it's like you know. You said you were an animator. You wanted to go to school for animation.
Yeah.
You know, like how do you kind of choose that path like growing up? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm fascinated by like, you know, obviously you're coming on here. We're going to talk about DJing, but it's like, I'm fascinating how people like kind of like navigate into that because in high school and shit, everyone like shepherds people into, you know, go to school. You got to figure out something and no one knows what they want to do. Very rarely they do.
Yeah.
And it's cool that, I mean, animation, I feel like is not something that everyone picks. It's like, how do you pick that?
I've always loved cartoons, always. And,
Like anime and stuff?
oh yeah. I mean, I think the first anime I ever watched was probably like Dragon Ball.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I think Dragon Ball they used to show it on CBS on like Sunday morning. It's like a really weird hour, and we would watch it. And we didn't even know what we were watching at the time.
Yeah.
And then like later, you come to realize like, oh, that was this.
Yeah, like what a strange phenomenon that was.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, it all kind of fell hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
I was never someone that like watched Dragon Ball Z. I have like cousins.
I watch it all.
My wife's cousin, like I told him that I was like, I was never a Dragon Ball Z guy. And he was like, like he like was taking it
it's
back.
like,
Because I mean that was such a big thing in childhood. I feel like I was like the minority as far as like not, I don't know. I was weird. I feel like cartoons, like I went from like the early Nickelodeon shit, like Rugrats and Doug and everything. And then it just skipped to like me watching like just movies. I never like got into like Cartoon Network.
Oh, see, I was heavy
All
on
that.
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. Those were like my two. But yeah, I've always been into cartoons and art and stuff like that. And so when it came time to pick, and I had like a comic strip.
Oh
that
yeah.
I would draw growing up. Yeah, it was called The Boys, and I started drawing it. I want to say in like middle school.
No way.
Yeah. And there
What was
like,
the premise of it?
It was just like
Something
it
like
was just like three boys that would just run around and get into trouble.
that's the best.
Yeah, and it was like it was these characters. One kind of looked like Crash Bandicoot, and one like his name was like Hoodsie, and he would like wear this hood that he like never took off. And yeah, there was like I had some characters.
Yeah, you were like really into it. That's
Yeah.
dope. That's
Yeah.
cool to hear. I mean, so this is Edinburgh. You said you went to Edinburgh. Is that was that like I didn't know, like, do they have a good art program up there?
Yeah, they have a really good art program. They're like
didn't know
known
that.
from it. Yeah. So that was kind of why I picked it, and I got like a Board of Governors scholarship.
There you go.
Yeah. So then I went there and I tried animation, and I got to like the final class, and I'll never forget the professor looking at me and being like, I don't know if you can get a job in this, but you should stick with it. And that's how I knew I needed to like figure something out.
Yeah.
So then I added a minor and started doing graphic design, and that really took off for me.
Yeah, that's sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's I mean, it's hard for me to do it because like I have no artistic ability at all. I was never able to draw, paint, anything like that, but I've always been like creative in the way of like thinking of ideas. Like I come up with like my designs, but it's hard for me to communicate what I'm thinking to my people that I talk to try to design stuff. So I just bought an iPad and I've been like trying to throw shit together.
Yeah.
And it's overwhelming. It's very overwhelming, and it's humbling, super humbling to like do any of that. I'm always like the most humbled whenever it comes to art or music because I was never good at either of them. You know what I mean? It's an interesting thing to think about.
It is. It's wild though, because like we're all good at something, right?
Yeah.
That's how we like get a society.
100%.
And so, yeah, where my shortcoming may be, it may be, I don't know.
It's weird because like I have friends,
Hockey,
yeah,
like,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, so like it's weird that what people are good at, what people ain't. It's like
Yeah.
I had buddies who were like, he would literally just be able to sit there and draw like portraits, and it came so easy to him, and it would just be so frustrating to me because like I have all these ideas that I need to put on paper, and I can't do it. So
Yeah.
and it sucks because it's like you gotta try to communicate it to someone in like this weird picture that you have in your head. It's wild. Now the graphic design. I mean, you said you switched from animation to graphic design, and like you intended to like pay bills with that and like make that a career.
Oh yeah, the goal was basically it wasn't inspired by the character, but Schmidt off of New Girl.
Oh yeah,
he like works for a graphic design, or he works for like a marketing company. Like that was my goal.
Yeah,
to like get into some sort of marketing or graphic design company and just work through that and
go from there and see where it goes.
Yeah, like I've always loved like Paula Scher and there's some other, I think Lewis something, but he's the guy who created the Apple ads, like the silhouette ads of the early 2000s.
Yeah,
where they had the headphone the white headphone, and they were silhouette and they were dancing around with these colored backgrounds. Like he's the one that came out with that. Yeah,
the real simplistic type stuff.
Yeah.
That's it's interesting to see how everyone like interprets it and like how they envision like what they want for it, because like trying to do like the graphic design stuff now and like trying to put together things that I want to, I like try to figure out how people create things. Like I'll look at things and I'll try to dissect them in my mind, and it's just like sometimes overwhelming. I just don't even understand how people do things. It's fun though. It keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
When it's obviously a big jump for you to be a graphic designer to now being a DJ full time. It's like, how does that even come into play?
So what happens is I don't get the graphic design jobs that I want. Like I come back, I had interviewed with like the Penguins, Eden Park, to do graphic design stuff, and nothing stuck. And then I realized it wasn't going to work, and I was working at a bank at the time, and I was like, all right, I still want to be creative, but graphic design might not be the path.
Yeah.
And I had been to a couple parties, and I was like, all right, maybe I can like try to DJ.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. And so I go on YouTube, and I started researching like how to DJ, and I come up with, I see a bunch of videos on like how to get started and how to do things. And I watched that stuff for like a couple months, and then I took a tax return and bought my first controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, whenever you're watching these YouTube videos, or do you have anything to practice on, or you're just watching them and kind of gaining info?
Yeah, I'm just like watching, gaining info, and like
figuring out how you want to do it, because every DJ has a different setup.
Oh yeah.
So you got to figure out what you want to do with it, whether you want turntables or, and you use, now you have, I look at your stuff, you have 2 turntables, and then you got, what is it, a mixer in the center?
Yeah.
And which has sample pads on it. You have a pretty, it's a dope setup. Like it's
Thank you.
Overwhelming to look at. What did you start with? So just like a sample pad type thing in the beginning?
Yeah. So when I started, it was something completely different from that setup.
Yeah.
I'll give specific names, but then I'll try to explain like what
That's
it is.
fine. Yeah.
It's like it's a 4-channel it's a 4-channel controller basically. It's called the Mixtrack Quad. That was the first one I ever got. So it's just a simple controller, perfect for beginners, and it's all in one. So like when you look at my turntable setup, you see the 2 wheels and the mixer. Imagine if like a controller would be if like you could just like pick up that whole setup.
Yeah, it's all one board.
Yeah, it'll all be one board.
Yeah. So do you, instead of having the turntables, did you have the small?
Yeah,
the
it was
small
like
wheels,
very small.
Yeah, where it's like almost like like 5 like something like that size on that candle almost.
Yeah.
And you were able to like direct like control where you are, placements and everything.
Yeah, and then I was using like virtual DJ and stuff, and then I started doing a little more. I started getting gigs and stuff. And
how do you approach that? Because I mean, I am fascinated by the point in time where you prepare, where you're practicing and you're preparing to when you could really like try to, show out what you're doing. It's like, when
yeah.
you know what I mean? Or, you got to be nervous as hell.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because going out there, I would be sick about it.
Yeah.
Am I going to forget everything? Am I going to forget everything?
It was rough. It was fun though. So what happened was I practiced, once I got my controller, I practiced for like a year.
Oh, really? That long?
Yeah, in my bedroom. Yeah.
Okay.
And when I finally felt like I was ready, I went around to different spots. I went to like Remedy and a couple other places.
Yeah.
And I asked like, hey, like, I don't know who does the booking here, but I'm a DJ. I would like, if you have an opening, I'd like to throw a party.
Yeah.
And the only place that hit me back was Remedy. And they were like, we got the second Thursday of the month. If you want that, you know, you're new, so you probably shouldn't charge a cover. Just like throw a free party and like get people in the door.
That's
I was
dope.
like, all right, cool.
Yeah, to put your name out there.
Yeah, yeah. So I did it. It was the second Thursday of August 2015. And that was it.
You got addicted to it.
Yeah, I stunk that night. I was really bad that night.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be terrible. You got to be terrible at one point. I did stand up. I did the March Madness competition at the Improv. Never did stand up. Always wanted to. Okay.
Yeah.
I interviewed a comedian that was running at Matt Light, and you know, we're chopping it up a little bit. And I was like, man, I always wanted to do it. And he's like, he called my shit. He was like, well, I got a competition coming up next month. You want to do it? And I was like, yeah. So I said it on here, and I was like, I got to do it. I've never in my life been more scared of anything. I've gave speeches in front of hundreds of people, never been more scared in my life. Thought I was literally going to vomit like Eminem and 8 Mile. I'm sitting there before this goes on. But anyway, I do great all 4 nights. I made it to the final.
You did 4.
Well, it's a March Madness competition.
Okay.
So there was like 32 people. Everyone was there, did 5 minutes, and then people voted, and you had to go through another round. I made it to the finals, and I got to the top 3 with everyone. I didn't win, but it was my first time ever doing it. Literally my first 4 sets. I was like, fuck yeah, I got this. I was like, this is going to be, I'm going to be a comedian. And people were like, yo, you want to do this gig right after? You got 10 minutes? I was like, yep, bet, I got it. Did it, and just did the worst.
How did you write the jokes?
So this is what was messed up. We were doing this competition, and it was 5 minutes every week. And I was writing a new 5 minutes every week, but all these people were doing the same material. So they were sharpening up what they were working on. But I was just like, fuck that. I'm not going to do the same things. I want to write new, I want to write new material. I'm listening to all these comedians podcasts, and they're like, you just got to go up there, write material. That's what I was doing. I was just living my life and using what was going on in the day. But, it went well for me. So I had I was feeling a little bit cocky. I was like, this is dope.
Yo.
And then I just got shit on because I had a 10-minute set, and they were like, oh, you could take a note card up there. You'll be cool. Cause I just started still. So this was like my first real gig at least. Even though it was in a shitty dive bar with like 30 people in this competition, there was like hundreds of people. There was 150 people there. But I go there and I have this note card. So I'm getting ready to walk up there. I set this note card down on the stool, and I guess like the AC blew it away. It blew it on I swear to God, I can't make it up. It blew it on the floor, and I couldn't find it. So I immediately looked, and then I immediately had that hot panic feeling, and I was like, fuck, all right, I got to just divert to what I was doing before, because it was all new material.
Yeah.
Forgot half of it, and it was just like 10 minutes, just me sitting up there, just nothing. And I was like, all right, there we go. But you had to have them experiences in life.
You do.
100%, because you don't ever want to feel like that again, so you prepare harder.
The good part was, in my situation, everybody there knew me.
Yeah.
So they were like, they knew it was the first time they knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're starting off, so that's good.
I'm starting among friends.
These were like people that I never, it was fucked up. It was scary. Like people that looked like these were regulars at a dive bar that just happened to be there on a night that there was some stand up, you know what I mean? So it was a sick night, but I loved it though. I still, and it comes for a good story like this, because it's like, I experienced that shit. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It feels good now, but I mean, look at you now. I mean, you're killing it. So it's dope.
Yeah.
You gotta start somewhere.
You really do.
So you have your first night at Remedy. Things go, well enough that you don't run away and quit.
Yeah, for
and,
sure.
What's the mindset after that? You're just like, how does someone? I feel like you're not going to classes to become a DJ. You just gotta practice in your room and shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Yeah,
there's DJ academies and stuff.
I get it, but any school you go to, it's like you need the experience of it, right?
Yeah. So after my first set, I kept like a mental note of everything that I did wrong. And I like went on YouTube and Googled, and I did everything I could to like search the issues that I was having.
Yeah.
And then I found the answers, and I was like ready for my next set. And my next set was a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Like how, like what kind of stuff were you doing? Like timing stuff?
Yeah. The number one thing was, back then I was using virtual DJ, at which if you have any other DJs using this, there's probably an audible groan. I was using virtual DJ, and I was using like the sync button to like match up the BPM and BPM beats per minute. So you want to kind of match it up as close as possible so that the music can, like, when you're mixing two songs, the music flows together and you can flow to the next song.
Now, let me pause you for a second, because this is what I was going to ask, because our most recent thing, I'm going to play this. Mm-hmm. So this is what we're talking about. This is Dua Lipa and Knuck If You Buck.
Yeah. The beginning part is Saint German, So Flute.
Saint German, So Flute.
Yeah. Just like flute that's playing, yeah.
That's so hard.
That felt so good to do.
I ended up seeing it on Twitter that day, and I was like, I didn't even realize who it was. Because like I knew of your Christmas like mixes that I listened to, and I was like, this is crazy. Like I was like, this is so wild that it's put together, and I never understood really how, you know, you have DJs like mashing up these like crazy ass songs. It all has to do with beats per minute, right? You can't just literally pull two songs together. They got to be somewhat beat per minute. They got to be
pretty close. Yeah. Also for that, there's a story about that. But
tell me it. I want to hear
the mix. But I can tell you about BPM too.
Okay. Well, we got all the time in the world, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the BPM thing, you want it to be as close when you're mixing. You want it to be as close as possible, really matching. And with digital software, it's a lot easier because it'll tell you the BPM.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a vinyl DJ, you have to like know your music, know your records, and then you can match things up, and you have to match it up by ear. But me being on Serato, I just 128.
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on over here?
Yeah, a little bit of help. That's all right.
Yeah.
And so you put them together. I believe that the one thing said, didn't someone ask you to use that?
Yeah. So with that clip, the Knuck If You Buck, when I play house, I love house, but I know that my crowd doesn't always like house music, and so I'll try to mix in like hip hop remixes.
Yeah.
So like songs that you know. So like I had like a Biggie house remix that went over really well, and even Honey, who was the other DJ, played like a Mobb Deep house remix that was unreal.
Yeah.
And Chance comes up to me. He's like, "Bro, keep Pittsburgh Dope."
Yeah.
He's like, "Bro, I gotta hear Knuck If You Buck. I don't know if you got a remix of it, but I gotta hear Knuck If You Buck." So I'm like, all right, like how do I? This is a house show. How do I play this track?
Wait, this is just like in the moment he asked you this.
Yeah, in the moment. Yeah.
I thought he meant like he messaged you like, yeah.
No, he walked up to me while I was doing my set.
He's lit, probably.
He was feeling it. So I'm like, all right, like I don't have a house remix, but I have the Knuck If You Buck acapella. So I was like, all right, let's get like some instrumental house somewhere that I can like add this audio to and like chop it up. Played that the So Flute track by Saint German, and I was like, oh wait, this is my chance. So I mixed in the Knuck If You Buck, throw that over it, and then I'm like, all right, my two decks are already in use, right? And I can either take out the instrument and leave the Knuck If You Buck acapella up and running, or I can take out the acapella and leave the instrument going and then mix in with a new track.
Yeah.
Because I only have two decks.
Yeah.
So
you only have two avenues of music to put in.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So then I'm like, all right, let's leave Knuck If You Buck going. So I take out the So Flute, echo it out, and then Knuck If You Buck is on acapella. Everybody knows that song.
Yeah.
It's something, that's a tactic you can do with any classic song that people will sing along to. So people are just like feeling it. And I'm like, all right, what is a song that I could shock people with? Because the contrast between Dua Lipa and Crime Mob is like,
Yeah,
there's a lot-
it's far.
yeah. So I was like, what would be shocking? What would be not expected to come? But what would people know enough in the moment to realize that like this shouldn't be together, but it sounds good.
100%.
Yeah. So I was like, oh wait, this will work. So
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Listening to that because like I remember because I'll scroll through Twitter and I was like, I'm not the biggest house music person. I like dubstep. I like house is a little bit too fast for me. It feels like my heart's gonna explode.
I love house.
But like I also love like the hip hop and all the old stuff. So like I get what you're saying with it. Whenever you're saying like it's an old tactic where if you put on like if you put on just like the Biggie like you can play that over and over and people are gonna be vibing to it.
Yeah.
But it was cool put together like that, and it's sicker to even hear that like you did that on the fly.
Oh
like that.
yeah, it was on the fly. Yeah.
Now, so what are like the dynamics of your show? Like, are you just, are you doing different types of shows? Like, how are you doing this?
Lots of different types of shows. I think in my free time, I listen to so many different types of music.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to present that to people or just people in general, whether it's the same people every time or different people. But the different sets that I do help me kind of let out those different personalities and feelings when it comes to
Soundtrack of
music.
your life.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So that party was called House Party. That was the first one we did, and that one we'll be doing again. But the party that's been with me the longest is Slappers and Bangers.
Yeah.
That one is hip hop, R&B, trap music.
That's one that I knew of.
That one's like very strict theme. We've had people ask us like, well, would you switch this thing? We're like, no.
Yeah, you got to leave out how it is.
Yeah, it's like this is, I'm like George Costanza. This is the show.
I never watched Seinfeld. I'm on it now. I'm just into season 6. I just got to the stall episode. Can't spare a square.
Oh yeah.
And but I'm fresh on Seinfeld. I like put it off for so long, but I know what you mean now. Costanza is
yeah. It's like this is the show. Like
100%.
Yeah.
But you leave that like and that's usually. Would you say it's your biggest show that you guys produce?
Yeah.
When are those? Where could people find them? And when are they?
So there's a Slappers and Bangers Instagram page. We're pretty, because our like home base Brillo Box, because they're not open yet, we've been bouncing around. But we'll be doing a summer series at Trace Brewing.
Okay.
So last year we did a Sunday there and a Saturday there. And people loved it. I mean, there was people. Have you ever been to Trace?
No.
Got to go to Trace.
I know. I got to go. I'm like, I don't drink. So it's
okay.
like I'll drink. I'll have a beer.
Yeah,
like I enjoy a beer, but it's like I don't go places to just drink. If there's like an event, I'll go.
Well, come for SMB.
I will. I would definitely will. I got to get down there. I got to talk to them and have them on here, and I got to have Adam.
You got to have Adam
on. Yeah,
got to have Adam.
I know he's been coming across my page, and like
he's the guy.
I know. That's what I hear. So I got to hit him up, and I've been meaning to get him on here. There's so many people I got to just cross off the list already.
Yeah,
I feel bad.
Yeah,
sometimes I'll be sliding someone in front, and sometimes people will be asking, but it's hard to do.
It's really hard to like. Me and my brother used to do a podcast. And
yeah. What was it?
It was like a fantasy football podcast.
Fantasy football. Mm-hmm. Well, when did you do this?
Oh, this is like 2016, maybe.
Yeah,
15 or 16.
How long did you do it for?
Just a year.
It's
we didn't last very long.
You didn't. I mean, it's a different type of thing to do.
But what we would do was we would come on and just like complain the whole time about fantasy football. So like the week would go and like let's say, I don't know, whoever the star it was at the time.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott fumbled and
so you're just cutting up the whole time.
Yeah, he fumbled, ruined your score, blah blah blah. So like we're just like complaining and ranting,
It's weird because I don't watch football. I don't watch sports. I played football for over a decade. I don't watch it. I don't know anyone really, but it's interesting because I just saw something online the other day of a player who held a shot at the last second to fuck up a line, to fuck up a betting line.
Oh, yeah.
You see him like the last second, and then he just shoots it real quick or whatever. It was weird, but it's a different type of beast. Like to have a podcast like that, I never understood. Or I never got to experience like what it would be to just have, because I talk to different people all the time. So it's like the vibe of it changes every week. But I have friends that run a podcast who it's just them each week pretty much. So they could like have reoccurring content where they could like have themes.
Yeah.
It would be fun to do something like that though. So have you been into podcasts for a while?
Into them?
Like listening to them and stuff?
Yeah, when I was in grad school, my professor put me on to This American Life.
Oh, okay.
And that was like my first podcast experience. I think they were like the number one podcast.
Yeah, for a long time.
For a very long time.
Very long time. And then they started producing other side podcasts that became number one, like Serial.
Yeah, Serial. I was a huge fan of the first season of Serial.
Yeah, I didn't like the other seasons.
Yeah.
First season was crazy.
It was
though.
phenomenal.
You're like, I can't believe I'm listening to something like this and I'm so entertained.
Yeah, I mean, I was at the edge of my seat the entire time because you don't really know. You don't know.
You don't know what's going on.
He might not.
And people still don't know what's going on.
No. Is he
think
still in jail?
I'm pretty sure he's still in jail. And I feel like it was like a year, probably before COVID. I feel like I remember hearing that like there was going to be a trial that Adnan Syed or whatever his name is. I still don't know. I don't remember it all now. Like I bet you if I would listen to it again, I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
But what a weird phenomenon it was, like listening to like, the murder porn type shit.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. But yeah, I've been into that. I listen to, my latest thing is I don't have cable.
Yeah,
but
me
I love Pardon the Interruption.
Pardon the interruption.
But it's Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser. Michael Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser. They're like legendary journalists.
Yeah.
They come on and argue like old men every day. And so I can't watch it, but they put it on podcast format.
Yeah,
and
so you can listen to it.
Yeah, you can listen to the show. And I listen to the show every night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
That's dope. What kind of stuff do they talk about?
Everything in sports.
Oh, okay.
They're just like
you big sports?
Yeah, I love sports.
Did you play sports growing up?
I ran track, wrestled, I failed at football.
What weight did you wrestle?
I can't even remember. I was wrestling in like 8th grade.
Yeah, I wrestled
only
too.
for a year though.
I wrestled for a couple of years. What a weird thing, wrestling. I wish I would have did it more. Track and field, what'd you do?
Everything. 400, 800, long jump, high jump, and then like any relay they could put me on. So 4x4, 4x8 if they had it.
You ever do pole vaulting?
I wanted to.
How crazy is that?
Tried to one time, and my coach looked at me. He was like, "Get over here." He thought I was trying to get out of running. I probably was.
Probably, but it was sick to see. Watching that shit is crazy, especially if you see it in like a professional, like Olympic level. You're like, these boys are crazy. I don't. It gives you a new respect for things.
It does, because like I mean it's something that like you have to be a special type of person to even try it out.
Yeah, so, I mean, I remember watching people just go in like very, very low heights, and you're just like, I don't even get it. I don't even understand.
How do you even develop the form?
Yeah, to like first pull yourself up and like know when to like apply pressure. Where special, like you said, special type of person.
Yeah, got to experiment.
Like the long jump, I remember watching that, and I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, you'd never do that.
Yeah, it was. I used to love long jump. Long jump and triple jump were very fun. Triple, I like triple better than long, but yeah,
it's weird because like I'm in this like I say I don't watch sports, but like the Olympics are on, so it's like I've been watching some of that and like all the wild stuff, and then I started watching these races with blind runners that have guide runners. You ever see this?
No,
dude, it's the wildest shit ever. People, Olympic runners running like fast as hell. Blind completely. They have guide runners right next to them. So I don't know if they're tied at the arm or if just like they could sense the person next to them, but they are running like full laps with like, completely blind in their lane. And it's just like, I don't know. It's mind blowing to me. It's pretty incredible. Yeah. You should peep it for sure. It's definitely wild.
Blind runners,
dude, blind, completely blind. Sprinting.
And they have a guide.
Yeah. There's like other Olympic runners that volunteer to help them.
How do are they attached?
That's what I'm saying. I don't get how they're attached. I don't know if they're taped at the arm or something like that, but people are literally running. Like if you were standing right next to me, you could probably feel like the energy right there and like feel there's a person, but running right next to you. And I don't know if they're talking the whole time. I mean, I assume that they're not speaking while they're running these crazy races, but it's insane to watch. And I was just on YouTube, just watching all these different videos of people running, and it's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, you got to look it up after this. I'll definitely remind you.
I need to.
But so back into all this. I get tangential on here.
I know. I like it. It's like
this is why I do it. There's no long form podcast in Pittsburgh. I'm filling that void. But so back to this Dua Lipa. We were talking about Dua Lipa and Crime Mob and all these different shows that you guys produce. And then we got onto Slappers and Bangers.
Yeah.
And then besides for Slappers and Bangers, you're doing house music as well.
Yeah.
to have like all these different, I don't know. Is it customary to be well versed in all these different genres?
You try to be. There's a lot of DJs who consider themselves to be open format.
Yeah.
And that means that they're just like, they look at the crowd, whatever the situation calls for, that's what they play, and they're able to rock a crowd in different situations. And I try to be as open format as possible, as open. So yeah.
How do you feel about when people come in and ask you for requests?
I don't like it.
I saw your TikTok.
I don't like it.
You said, you got all this equipment, big man? Come on over here.
Yeah, you're like, oh, you got the next. Because the problem is that people, a lot of time, 80% of the time, the request is based on your own self-interest.
Yeah.
Like when I'm playing music, I'm looking at the crowd. Like if I throw on a Beyonce song and people start dancing more,
yeah,
I'm going to be like, okay, I can also play around with maybe Keisha Cole and throw on another Beyonce song a little later.
Old Destiny's Child.
Exactly. And so I'm making considerations based on the crowd. Half the time the request comes in, they just wanted to hear it. They were in the store and they heard it and they just thought it would be funny to play or something, some dumb reason. So
something that just doesn't line up.
It doesn't line up. And it has nothing to do with the show or the theme or anything. So,
I think it's funny because like I know that it has to be annoying for DJs to like, you always see them videos of like drunk ass people running up like, play whatever, and you're just like, it got to be annoying because like I just feel like I would need to be in my zone. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like that if you're just like what what the hell are you saying? Just get out of here.
I've had people boo me.
Really?
I was DJing a wedding. And I got booed at a wedding.
That's crazy because that's a mob of the same people.
Yeah, I was DJing a wedding and this woman came up to me and was like, can I request a song? I'm like, yeah, like if it fits, I'll be able to play it. She's like, can I have such and such? I'm not going to say the song because I don't want to reveal the wedding. Can I have such and such a song? I'm like, all right. I immediately know I'm not going to play it. It's a terrible request. I'm just going to let her go. And I play a song that the couple wanted to hear. Like there was a required, like, talk what songs are required, what song,
My DJ did not play one thing we put on there. We said,
really?
Oh my God. Our DJ was the first, our wedding was his first show and it was no good. But whatever. We had a rough wedding. It was a rough wedding.
Hit me up next time.
I will next time. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Whenever we renew.
Yeah.
We'll get you in there.
No, yeah, that's important because like you want, like this is the soundtrack to your big day. So I'm playing one of their songs and the woman is like, this song is terrible. Boo.
Said that to you?
Yeah. And I'm like,
luckily, you're sick.
I'm years into this at this point. So I'm like, not even pressed.
Yeah, you know how to like handle that.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Just I ain't even paying attention to you.
Yeah, it was wild. But my friends know, the friends who can make requests. They know who they are,
and they know probably what to request. They're not going to play some crazy ass shit.
They're the ones who like they look in the crowd. I played a song, women started twerking, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this would do it too." And they come up to me and they say, "Yo, can you play?" Da, 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 da.
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't think of that. Thank you. You made me a rock star." And then the women continue twerking.
So for someone to progress like their talents as a DJ, like are you like how do you gauge that if you're practicing at home? You don't have no one twerking in your living room, to know what's going on with it. So what's your like mentality whenever you're like trying to like, get out of your comfort zone and like start to, keep adding tools into the toolbox?
I go to other DJ sets.
That's a good point.
Like it's really important for me to go and see other DJs and I pay attention to like how everyone is. I pay attention to like what the women are doing. I pay attention to what the men are doing. I literally pay attention to everybody because when you go to a party, nights out and stuff, like a lot of people, they're spending their time and money in a place and they're depending on you to deliver a good time. And they could have had a bad week. They could have had a bad day.
This is their getaway.
Yeah, this is the getaway, And so you want to be able to like read those people and have something for them. And so yeah, when I go out, I'm like, listening to the DJ and I'm like jamming, I'm dancing among the people. Like I'm playing songs that I would, if someone played it, I would be dancing with everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Something that you want to hear as well.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever have any times where like, you usually like one person, band. I guess what would you call yourself? One person ensemble? Like as a DJ,
I'm
it's just
DJ.
you, right?
Yeah, it's just me. But I mean, sometimes you do collaborations with other DJs, or maybe you get on the bill you work with a promoter, and then you get on a bill with like 2 or 3 other DJs.
Well, the reason I ask that is because like if you're let's say you're just working at a wedding, it's like, do you ever have times where like your equipment malfunctions, anything like that?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like, how do you adapt to all this?
You think one, you have to. The key is to have extra equipment with you, like extra pieces.
Yeah.
Obviously, if my computer dies, I might have a problem, I would have a problem.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you want to have like a lot of cords, a lot of extra like little pieces for your equipment, lots of stuff to power your stuff with. Like, yeah, and you also want to test your equipment maybe the day before or a couple of days before. Yeah, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it.
Do you like do like trial runs like before weddings and shit like that, where you like just put up all your equipment and like go through
yeah before
set, basically?
Yeah, so before I don't really plan the sets. Like they're all improvised.
Yeah.
So unless I'm doing a battle, but yeah, it's all improvised. And so it's not like I have a list of songs that, they want to hear. And then I have a list of songs that I think would fit well in addition to what they want. But most of the time it's just like, I look out at the crowd, I see how they're moving.
Yeah.
Okay, have they been dancing for a while? Maybe I can put on a slow song, or maybe I can put on a song that sends them to the bar for a second. And then after a small break, then I'm like, all right, let's ramp it back up, play the hits, give them like a 20 to 30 minute set of like hits so they can really go crazy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Big energy. You got
it's all about the situation.
I guess it's interesting to like, you just got to be able to read people and like kind of figure it out. Now, obviously you said you've been booed before, but like have you ever had other bad experiences where you just like can't get the people back?
Yeah, it happens. I play weird crap. Like
I know it happens.
Yeah,
but it's like I feel like everyone hears about the highlights. People want to hear about like they whenever I bombed.
They want to hear my Joker origin story.
Yeah,
I tell my joke. I just look out. No one's laughing.
Yeah, because like it's reality.
Yeah. No, I think I've never had like actually no. My worst experience was like one of my early gigs, and I had a corporate event. One of my friends worked for a company, a bigger company in Pittsburgh, and then they asked him who they should book, and he was like, book my friend.
Yeah.
I'm very new. My library is very small, and it's a lot of like just the stuff that I like. So it's a lot of like K-Tronada and like Selection stuff. It's not stuff that fits what a corporate office would want to hear.
Yeah.
And I get in there and I'm playing like all this K-Tronada and stuff, and they're just like, can you please play this, and this? And they come to me with like a list of songs, and it's all like poppier. It's all like 80s rock, stuff like that. And I had almost none of it. Yeah. And I just looked at them and was like, I'm sorry, like I don't have those songs. And yeah, it was rough. But I learned a lot that day.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously, I got better. I grew from it.
Now you say you don't have them songs like in this world of like, people don't have to buy songs anymore. People have a streaming service. Where does that come into play?
So when I first started DJing, it wasn't possible to use a streaming service and DJ.
Yeah.
You had to have the library. You have to have the actual MP3s.
Yeah. So you could like mix them up, do whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, after that happened, I went to like different friends who I knew had like big music collections, and I got their collections and stuff.
Okay.
And so I was able to fill a lot of blanks. But yeah, now you can, if you have Tidal and SoundCloud, you can pay for those. You can stream off those while you're DJing. The only problem is you have to trust your signal. And
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
So
point.
if you're not, so there's a lot of barn weddings. It's hot in the streets right now.
I had a barn wedding.
Yeah, you had a barn wedding.
I had a barn wedding.
So you had one of those weddings. I wouldn't be able to stream Tidal.
That's why I had a terrible DJ, I guess.
He couldn't stream his Tidal.
He had a straight up box of like, chicken dance and everything like that. I was just like, goodness. But it could have been worse.
Yeah.
But so what's like like obviously DJ, you're a night person. You got to be a night person.
Yeah.
I know you did the collaboration with Hitchhiker. What was it called? Midnight Rider? or Midnight
Rager.
Midnight Rager.
Yeah.
Now, what's like? What do you do in the day besides DJing? It's like what do you do for fun?
So before the pandemic, it was lots of practicing.
Yeah.
And that was mostly it. Lots of practicing and just like hanging out and stuff like that. After the pandemic, I started studying programming, like front end programming. And so I basically just work on that and apply for jobs and stuff like that.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
programming.
It was DJing has changed so much since the pandemic. And
in what ways?
Well, one, you can't trust like attendance. Like you're hoping that the people who online, like that online chatter that you may get or the numbers you may get, you got to hope that it translates, because if the news hits that, you know, case numbers are up, blah, 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 people are going to then stay in. I get people like asking me, why aren't I canceling and stuff like that.
Really?
You know? Oh yeah. Yeah. Jeez. And so it's something you have to deal with. I mean, like, I'm not canceling because it's my full-time job. And like, unlike March 2020, no one's paying me to stay home.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you still have to work, but then you have to like factor in, you know, okay, it's winter and COVID's everywhere. So people are going to chill out now. But then like in the summer, I know I'm going to be busy because everybody's been inside all winter. They've been like dodging the Rona.
Yeah.
And like, if you've been watching the numbers, the cases are going down, which means that like, as soon as the weather's nice, like
people are going to break out.
Yeah. It's going to be insane.
100%.
So, yeah. So, but we didn't have to expect those like dips, you know, before COVID.
Yeah, because it was more consistent before. People weren't afraid to go out, so like that factor wasn't, you know, that whole medical factor wasn't even involved. Yeah. It was more just like, you know, what day is it? What day of the week are people going to come? Is there work the next day? It's that's a good point. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, so that's why I got into programming, and so during the day I'd like to be doing something by day. Yeah. And then whatever DJing looks like, that's what it looks like. And I don't have to worry about it being a slow month. That's an unplanned slow month.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't want to put that pressure on yourself for no reason.
Yeah.
It's interesting I guess I really didn't think about that because, you know, I don't go too many places. Like I'm a homebody, I guess. Mm-hmm. But so you know, I'm jealous. I kind of embraced COVID. You know what I mean? But I'm also, you know, I was out a little bit further, but I also don't drink. So it's like it got to be the right equation for me to want to go. Because you got to call it as it is. A sober person never wants to be around a drunk person.
No,
the worst. Nothing worse than that guy hanging on you. Yeah. I haven't seen you forever.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, your breath stinks. But it's like, it's interesting to think of the idea of COVID and like how drastic that could like, you know, kind of take out your business, because I feel like with us just like, you know, looking at Instagram every day, all day while we're in the pandemic locked in, you see all these like virtual battles and everything like that. And you're like, oh, it's booming. Like everything's gonna be booming. But it's like, realistically, life didn't really continue all the way yet.
No, not really. I mean, in some places, you know, like this summer was insane.
Yeah.
Like this summer when, you know, when we almost thought that we had this thing.
Oh, it was a wrap.
Yeah,
we were good.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, we got the vaccine.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Got the jab. Yeah.
I got jabbed. I'll lick someone right now.
Moderna mom.
I know, it's like, crazy, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, and once we found out that we weren't impervious.
Shit was still going on. You're like, oh, there's more of them now.
Yeah, but as those case counts went up, oh yeah. Lots of parties were impacted. I mean, even New Year's wasn't the same. Like people didn't know how it would be. Yeah. But like a lot of places.
Did you perform New Year's?
I didn't. I took this year off.
Yeah. Did you guys celebrate New Year's?
I did. I was at Cobra.
How was that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had I can't remember the woman who DJ'd, but Brenmar was there, and I know Brenmar's name because I'm a big fan of his. Yeah. He's a really good producer. He has some remixes that I love, that I like play almost every other set.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. He Cobra. I only been there once, and it was crazy whenever I went there. The food was unreal. Really really was.
I haven't done the grill yet.
That's what we did. I went. It was me and my wife and my buddy and his wife, and we went down there and just like balled out and just kind of got the works because we're just like, you know, we're experienced, my experience.
Yeah. You guys do karaoke?
No, but
fun.
there wasn't karaoke going on that night. We went on a random night, like a Tuesday night or some shit. There was no one in there, but I see the karaoke's bopping. You know, it looks dope.
Yeah,
it looks super dope.
Yeah.
Are you a karaoke singer?
Love karaoke. I hosted over quarantine. I hosted this thing called Quarantine Karaoke.
Really?
Where so I would go on live, and then you would request to share the live with me, and I would put my phone on the screen, and the words would come by.
Oh my god!
And people were like belting songs over
What a great idea.
So much fun.
Yeah, that's a cool idea. That's my favorite part about COVID is like, you know, with all the, you know, terrible shit that happened with it, but I love to see everyone pivot and like kind of figure out a way to like, you know, just do some different shit to provide content.
Yeah.
You know, like with me, I didn't want to I wasn't inviting people over. You know, I didn't know if like zombie virus or some shit. Yeah. You know, so I was just like researching weird topics. You know, I did one on like pyramid schemes, you know, Tony Robbins. I would just spend like literally like 40 hours that week.
Isn't it crazy what you can do with time?
Oh my God. Cause I was laid off and I was just getting paid and my wife was still working. So I didn't have dogs yet either. So I'm just sitting there for 8 hours with nothing to do. And I was like, I gotta keep putting out episodes. So I'm researching like, you know, Nikola Tesla and like being completely mind blown about shit and Jonestown Massacre, just weird shit that like I've always like heard about that I always wanted to learn more about. But I don't know. It was cool to see people pivot. Even in like the restaurant industry, you see like people doing them like Sunday dinners and everything.
The Sunday dinners were fun.
Yeah.
The walking cocktails were fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a great era in Pennsylvania history.
Such a weird, I mean, it's just weird time in life, you know, across the board.
Yeah.
So if you were doing all these, like, I know you did, you said you were doing the what do you call it, virtual karaoke?
Yeah,
quarantine karaoke. Yeah. And then you also said you did battles. Did you do a battle on the virtual battles?
No, not one of the virtuals.
You would just jump on virtuals and you'd be doing a bunch of like live mixes.
Yeah, I would do mini mix Monday. And the key to that was like, it wasn't going to be this like super turntablist masterpiece every week. It was just going to be like 2 or 3 songs that I thought sounded good together, and I would like mix them in a minute and put it on the internet. And those were really good for a while, and they were really fun to do. And then the weather got nice, and I just wanted to go ride my bike.
I know, right?
Yeah.
You ride a bike a lot?
Before I tore my Achilles, I was biking a lot.
Tore your Achilles? How'd you do that?
Playing basketball. Yeah, that's the bad part about COVID. Think about like anything you did socially, you just paused it for a year, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine like I hadn't played basketball in almost a year before COVID. So then like you tack on a year.
And you jump out, you're like, let's go. You bust your shit.
Yeah, like tore my Achilles taking a 14-year-old to the hoop. Like,
oh my God. How bad was it? Did it hurt?
No.
Really?
No, it felt like someone stepped on the back of my foot. That was it. Like the sensation you get when like a cart hits the back of your foot. Yeah.
Flat tire. And then you just like, couldn't stand after that? Is it like hard to stand?
Well, when it happened, I was on the ground and I was like, all right, I know my foot hurts, so I'm not going to stand up yet. And I think it was Julio Jones and like Kobe. They both tore their Achilles.
Yeah.
And I like watched interviews and they had said like, yeah, like it didn't hurt. I just thought it's like someone stepped on the back of my foot. And like, you can see, I guess there's like video of Kobe like looking back to see if somebody, you know, stepped on his foot. And, I asked everybody on the court, I was like, hey, did somebody step on my foot? And they're like, no. And as soon as they said no, I knew. And I was like, are you sure?
That's such a wild thing.
I was like, are you sure a ball didn't hit me or anything? And they were like, no, man. I was like, all right, that means I tore my Achilles. And I just like got myself off the court.
Jeez. Yeah. How long were you laid up with that?
Man, it's a process. I got surgery like a couple days after.
When did this happen?
June 29th, I tore it, and then I got surgery July 6th. And so I was in a boot for a while. Shout out to my friends. They like really helped me get the gigs and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah, I was doing like 3 to 4 gigs a week with a torn Achilles.
With a boot on?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, they helped me out. My friends helped me out a lot. And then, then I got through it. And now, I mean, I'm still in it. Don't ask me like to jump. But I can walk.
Don't ask me to jump.
Yeah, I can walk. You know, give you a little calf raise.
Yeah, you got around in here. You're puttering around fine.
Oh
here.
yeah. I can even jog a little bit too.
That's what's up. You do you spend any time, doing like any sort of like, mental type shit over quarantine? Like I feel like a lot of people that I've talked to spent time like trying to like meditate, try to keep their mental right. From what I see on, your Instagram, it's like you seem like a fun, upbeat person. Are you someone that's in touch with that?
Yeah, I really try to be. So I try to like harness different feelings and like put them into different projects or the things that I do. And so, like over quarantine, well, I broke up with the person I was dating February 2020. So that's like right before.
Oh shit!
Right before the world ends.
Literally right before.
Yeah, and then you hit March where
everyone shuts down.
Yeah, well, I was shutting down, and then everyone had to shut down with me. So then March hit, and you just have a lot of time alone, and it was cool to be able to like reflect and like read a lot of things, like articles and stuff, and like listen to podcasts. Like I did the full gamut, and it was a time that like I don't know. I think the amount of time that I had to just do stuff. Like I remember over quarantine, I built a computer, picked up bike riding. I like got heavy into like taking care of plants, and so like my apartment is like covered in plants now.
I saw your birthday post. You had that big ass plant.
Yeah, the Monstera. Yeah,
it's weird how much people found themselves with that time. Not being just dicking around doing dumbass shit. Being locked inside and like really having to like a lot of people didn't like what they found out about it and like realizing who they were and like the things that they needed, but. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the people that I talk to on here are like, creatives that kind of have a straight mindset on where they want to be in life. And it was a common theme that people like really took that in consideration, like, kind of evaluate your life and kind of evaluate what you're doing and what, just how you want to conduct yourself. Because, before we're all just moving too quick and like you never really have a time to just, chill and, you just go to work, come home, chill, go to bed, same thing over and over. But
over and over.
If you're just sitting there, you kind of have a different mindset. Like I picked up bike riding too, just like the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And, during quarantine, I'm just riding around down the south side, down through the whole city, putting on like 40 miles, just like literally in my head.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out what I wanted to do with life and like where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
It's important. Definitely is.
Yeah. It was wild. And it was wild to be able to look at your day and say, okay, I can do a 3-hour bike ride and like I didn't miss anything.
I know.
Like that's insane. And I hope one day that I have that sort of time again.
I know.
Yeah. Like
I think about that.
I think about it all the time. Like all the time. The fact that I could wake up in the morning, gingerly make coffee,
breakfast, make a pour over without having to worry about your time.
Yeah.
I listen to a whole album and then I still got time to do shit.
Still got time. And then after a 2-hour morning routine, I could ride my bike for 3 hours
and still have time. Because that 3-hour bike ride and like your routine, it's still just half of the workday you're spending.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wild. It's kind of depressing to think about it because we're never probably ever going to be that again.
Maybe not. I think I aspire to have like
dogs are going crazy.
Yeah.
they were she was doing a wedding makeup, so they were in a crate for a second, but they bust out and then they get crazy.
Oh, that's dope. I wish I had a dog, but I'm also glad I don't because I'm never home.
It's very stressful. It's just you just have a living thing that you just got to worry about. So it's like, I can't be away from my house for more than like 3 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It makes me sick thinking about it.
And that's the thing, like doing a 10 to 12 hour workday, like on a wedding. Usually my wedding days are like 10 to 12 hours.
Oh, I have to be.
Yeah.
But luckily, my wife works from home. Like that's another benefit of the whole like pandemic and all that shit is like people are able to do that. I still have to go into work, but I work a small job, but it's nice to, it's definitely dope to like have an animal, but it's definitely a beast to have two of them to like just take care of.
Yeah.
Were you a pet person?
Yeah, I grew up with a pet. We had a dog. His name was Red, and then we had a cat whose name was Diamond. And then later, when they passed, we have BB and Cece and JJ.
Pets, dude, they're cool. I mean, they're like I don't know what I would do without them now.
Yeah,
it's like I find myself not wanting to do things to just like hang out with them at home. I don't know. It's interesting where people are in life. Like you definitely seem to keep busy over the last, couple years with all the shit that is going on. I feel like that everyone that I talk to finds a way to make some shit happen still. Would for being a DJ in this uncertain world of events and everything, what are your goals? Obviously the programming. You said you're trying to get involved with that actively, but what are your goals with DJing?
DJ wise, there's three main things. One, I want to start curating more stages. I hooked up with Goodlander last year, and they let me basically help them build their first good. It was called Good Fest. So Goodlander is a cocktail brewery.
Oh, okay.
They make like bubbly cocktails, and they batch them, and you could walk in with a growler and walk out with their iteration of gin and juice or a mojito, and things like that. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's dope.
And they wanted to do a festival to get their name out, and they let me curate the list or the performers and stuff, and was able to hook up with Big Phil, Pav, and Honey did that one too with me.
That's dope.
And so I want to really curate some stages. I'm working with Barrow and Flow Fest this year.
Yeah,
on curating their stage.
I saw you did that collaboration with them last year.
Yeah.
Are you a big beer person?
I like beer. It's fun. I like the science. I used to work at Wiggle Whiskey, and so I think the brewing process is it's really fun to watch and learn about, and it's a science. Yeah.
To kind of see, that's one of the benefits of this is me being able to weasel my way into going to see things. I'm sponsored by Turner's. I weaseled my way in to go see the Turner's factory, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So it's to go out there and kind of just see how shit is made behind the scenes.
Yeah.
My dream is to be like Mike Rowe with Dirty Jobs. It's I want to do that. I just want to go Muddy Waters Oysters. I had him in here where he taught me how to shuck oysters, go tour farms and stuff. I'm about to go tour the zoo. It's fun to just be able to kind of see how that stuff is made and want to get more hands on. I'm someone who tries to get as involved as I can, brew my own coffee. I became a big coffee person, so I'll roast my own coffee and it's fun to have that that elevated level of care and involvement in it. Definitely is. How did you figure out so the processes for Barrow and Flow whenever they do collaborations with creatives, you worked with Hitchhiker. How do you figure out what you want to do for a beer?
They just asked me what I like, and I told them some flavors that I liked. They wrote that down, considered it, and then boom, they came up with this West Coast IPA, which has some citrus notes, a little bit sweeter. Not sweet, but it's an IPA with some citrus notes.
You liked it?
Yeah, it's really good.
Do you prefer an IPA?
Yeah. It's IPA or Saison?
I don't know if I know what the second one is.
Saison is that is a citrusy sort of sweet sort of beer.
Oh, okay.
It's different than a West Coast. It's slightly different in taste than a West Coast that I can't describe.
It's such a overwhelming, the podcast, obviously, Drinking Partners, they covered the whole, they cover all the beer. I don't drink, so I feel like I'm speaking out of school. So I don't really ever get to talk to brewers or anything like that. I also don't drink. So it's I feel like I don't have notes for questions.
Yeah.
It all comes from my mind. So it's beer, I can only talk so much about, but I'm starting to really enjoy it more. I just don't like being drunk. I love the taste of it all. I just hate being drunk, but I love, drinking all of it. So we just went on a trip to Virginia, me and my wife, and there was a brewery down there. I went down there, had a beer, and I like having all these different flavors and trying all these different things, but it's, I think I'm going to get more involved with it.
Yeah, I feel that for me, it's not really about, it's not about getting drunk at all. It's you're kind of listening to how it was made, and then you're able to taste it. And I don't know, it's sort of like food. It's like anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that you can, when you like it or you find an interest in it, you just dive in deeper and learn more about. It just so happens that right now, culturally, beer is a thing that everyone can.
Yeah, it's insane.
Kind of get into and
look at. It's pretty insane. At any level, a small level to a big level. But It's not that I don't appreciate it or anything. It's just like some of these beers, if I drink one of them, they're 8%. I don't drink, so it'll wreck me.
Yeah.
I had one beer. I remember whose was it? It was like 8.6%, and I drank it, and I remember thinking like, I'm fucked up right now. And I was like, I don't know how people drink this. Cause like my sister-in-law is dating Buzzy, you know, Buzzy Turk.
Oh yeah.
So it's like,
that's the homie.
He is the first person that I met that was like heavy into beer. Cause I did a podcast with him in like 2013 at Work Hard. And he just had these wild ass beers. Yeah. And it was back whenever I wouldn't even entertain it. I remember taking a sip and I was like, this literally tastes like cat piss. But he was like, that means it's good. And you're just like, I don't know. But now I'm appreciating it more for sure. So, you want to progress, you want to, perform, you want to do more, you want to,
more curation.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking at. Curating more stages.
Yeah.
You're obviously going to do your theme nights and keep going with that whenever they come by. When does any news on Brillo Box?
Lou posted, Lou's the owner.
Yeah.
He posted that they passed some sort of inspection. And he said soon. So that's all I know.
I think what's his last name? I think I hit him up one time to talk about Bigfoot. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he's
the Bigfoot guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This was like, I think this was right before COVID happened, and then COVID happened, and it ended up not happening. I'm gonna have to hit him up.
You got to get him. You got to get him.
Once Brillo Box opens back up, we could use that and promote all that in there too. But
Lou is so cool.
I know, that's what I hear. I put it on Facebook.
So
I was
cool.
like, do I know anyone that's a Bigfoot fanatic? And I think 6 different people that don't know each other all hit me up and was like, you got to talk to him.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. Yeah, I'll have to hit him up again. Okay, so besides for being a DJ, what do you want to do in life? What are your goals in life?
I just want to, honestly, I just want to be happy, and happiness for me would be, I don't know, recently, my mom would be happy to hear this. Recently, I've just been in a mood to like, I travel a lot, and I feel like I do a lot of cool things. And so now it's like maybe trying to share that with someone. And so for a long time, I was like very happy being single and stuff. And so like, if we're talking like abstract in life.
Yeah, abstract.
Maybe being able to share some of these occasions and some of these nights and some of these like shows that I'll be doing, like, these experiences and stuff. Because literally, like half the time, I just do it by myself.
Yeah, and you come home, and you're like, man,
it's fun. Like
I know. I can understand that for sure.
Who can I remember this with? Like,
understandable. Yeah. That's definitely that's a good answer. I mean, it's fun to be able to share stuff, even with like your friends and stuff like that. It's fun to be able to share your accomplishments and your hard work with it. But it's different whenever you could share it with like a partner in life with. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like my wife does her shit. She does wedding makeup. I always say her shit, and it's like a negative connotation. I've been really trying to like not call people.
I don't think that's I get it. But
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like sometimes, like I said it to an artist one time that was in here. I was like, so the shit that you do, and I just feel like it's almost like kind of disrespectful.
Okay, yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like if you're asking, it almost sounds like you don't know what they're doing. And exactly. So that's the placeholder. So yeah, I get that.
This is what I'm trying to progress in life. These are my what I would like to get better at. I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years, and I'm trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, it's an ever growing thing. You know what I mean? Artist project is never done, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I have professional goals, but I also try to really have personal goals and try to continue to have fun, because I remember when I was 18 and about to go to college, I had someone tell me, enjoy college, man. Those are the best years of your life.
Yeah.
And I remember like thinking like, wow, the best years of my life are like the next 4 years.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Just depressing.
That sounds terrible.
I had a terrible college experience. I just didn't even like it. And they definitely weren't my best years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so
it's all what you make it.
Yeah. And so I just really just want to continue to concentrate on happiness and like good times with friends. And professionally, the chips are going to fall, and I'm going to keep working hard at that.
Yeah.
But I really want to make it a priority to like be there for my friends and like be there with them and be able to share things and things like that.
100%. It's great to be a part of a a group that you could, that supports each other. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's nice to be able to have that. It's nice to be able to know that that's that you have that support system set in stone.
For sure.
All right. Well, you want to get into some fun?
Yeah.
The ending segment that I do with all my guests is an ending segment called Desert Island Questions.
Oh, man.
This is a good one.
Okay.
This will be good.
Okay.
So Desert Island Questions, whenever I give each guest 3 categories to take with them on a desert island until they starve to death and die. Mm-hmm. First category, 3 movies. You get a TV with an integrated DVD player and you get 3 DVDs.
Yeah.
First of all, before I forget, I feel like that out of anyone that I've ever had on here, I've never met anyone that had a Halloween costume that deserves a moment to be recognized. Your Wesley Snipes costume.
Oh.
Honestly,
Thank you.
Blade was my favorite movie growing up.
Yeah.
And whenever I was scrolling through and I saw you with the sword, I was like, there ain't no way he dresses Wesley Snipes. I have it written down here so I didn't forget it. Look, wait, where's it at? Arie Cole, Wesley Snipes.
Yep.
It's the first one. I was like, I cannot forget to remember that.
I was with Cody that day,
Man.
and he was laughing so hard. That was such a fun costume.
Wesley Snipes, though, he is
He's the guy.
He is. I've tweeted at him numerous times, like, yo, I'll fly anywhere in the world to interview you. Obviously, I ain't getting nothing back, but man, it doesn't hurt to try.
No, I really like Wesley Snipes, especially like him on Twitter is pretty funny.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Very interactive,
hilarious on Twitter. That's why I'm like, I just will shoot my shot with everyone.
Yeah,
I'll be sending messages to literally everyone. If
all I can say is no or nothing,
or they don't even open it up. But like, there's people that like who Lee Sadiq, comedian Lee Sadiq. He's been on like Comedy Central and stuff.
Okay.
Burt Kreischer, you know him?
No. Wait, is that the chubby guy?
Yeah. Fat dude that everyone. So I just messaged them and they were like, yeah, I ended up doing podcasts with both of them at the Improv in Pittsburgh.
I need to look these up.
These were the Burt Kreischer one was back whenever I did it with Buzzy in like 2013. That is no longer there, but Elisa Deek's episode is still there. That was a very interesting episode. It was me in the green room while he was sitting there because it was Ramadan, so he had to wait to eat, and he what was he watching? The finals and the Toronto finals basketball. Oh, and it was me asking him questions while he was sitting there eating, just watching the game. Yeah. But that was
a fun year.
Oh yeah,
when that was when Kawhi like broke Philly's heart.
Yeah,
with that shot.
Yeah, because I wasn't even a basketball guy, but I knew that was going on with that, and he was amped up about it. But it's just cool. Why not shoot your shot with people?
Yeah,
you just reach out.
Yeah, I'm much more of a football guy than basketball, but this is the time of year where I like gingerly walk into basketball conversations and act like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's all right though. You definitely know enough to be able to like,
I know my own.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know that much, but I feel like I'll still jump into conversation every now and then.
Yeah, I won't. I can't. I'm not Stephen A.
Yeah,
but,
All right. Well, what about the movies?
The movies. I'm taking Hitch with me.
Too good.
Yeah, Hitch is like it's very near and dear to my heart because I bought like a copy of it off Amazon for like 99 cents. And when I was in grad school, I can't do anything without like white noise or like some noise in the background. And I would play Hitch because like I knew the movie and it wasn't like it was new and I would like pop up when something happened.
Yeah, you didn't even need to watch it. You just knew.
No, I just knew what was happening and I would be able to. So yeah, Hitch for sure.
I don't know if that's ever been picked on here.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good one.
See, here's the thing. I'm giving you like we're looking into.
I want to. These are movies that I want. I feel like sometimes whenever I ask people these questions, they think too far into it, and they'll pick movies like very random. But these are movies that you're watching every day that mean
I'm giving
things
you the stuff that feels good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Yeah, this is, and it's what I do.
That's what I want.
So it's gonna be Hitch. 500 Days of Summer.
What a depressing movie, but good.
Is it depressing?
Movie. Do you not think it's depressing a little?
No, it feels good. I like that movie.
Maybe I haven't watched it in a while, but I remember watching it and thinking like, this. I remember watching like, I get into my feelings with movies. I'll cry at movies. I don't give a shit. But I remember watching that and thinking like, this didn't make me feel the same way that like, The Girl Next Door felt, where it's like, good things are gonna happen in life. It wasn't like Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah. And then this is the last one I would choose. Probably Avengers Infinity War.
Are you a big Marvel person?
Huge Marvel person. Infinity War, I feel like there will never be a better superhero movie than that one.
I only watched up to Iron Man 2.
Oh, really?
I know. I feel like that I'm like the anti-pop culture person. You know, I don't watch sports. I don't watch the Marvel stuff. Didn't watch Game of Thrones.
I watched Game of Thrones and I hated that.
That's what everyone said. Everyone
so
hated
upset
the
with
ending.
Yeah.
Did you watch Sopranos?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so that's something that like I could, you know, I heard so much negative about Game of Thrones that I was like, or I heard so much positive about it, and then I heard the ending was like the worst ever, and I was just like, I don't ever want to deal with that. But then I ended up watching Sopranos, which was the same thing.
Yeah,
but I loved it. I ended up loving the ending.
You liked it?
The Sopranos ending, yeah.
What I'm starting to gather from HBO is that they're not good at endings, because you have The Sopranos, you have Game of Thrones, and then there's the show about the funeral home. A lot of people don't like that ending either.
Oh, 6 Feet Under?
Yeah. A lot of people hate that.
Well, that was a weird fucking show.
Yeah.
That was weird. But then you have shows like True Detective, which was like a masterpiece of cinema. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's all, I don't know. Some people didn't like Sopranos ending. I loved it, but I feel like that I had like a theory about it, whereas, you know, Game of Thrones or Sopranos, whichever you want to call it, if you're watching it in real time and you're waiting week after week to watch all these, you have more time invested. I binged through The Sopranos, so I didn't have years invested into it.
Yeah.
So it was basically just 2 months of me watching this and living my life as a mobster in my head. And then the ending, you know, it happened and I was like, it wasn't too bad. But if I had to wait 6 years to get to that ending and that's how it ended, I'd be like, I'm pissed.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was thinking about that because I was straight up thinking about doing a whole podcast about Sopranos, because that's how into it I was.
You still could.
I know, but no one wants to hear me talk about the Sopranos.
See, you're almost touching on a concept that I've wanted to play around with. It's like reviewing old albums, not even old albums. The album just has to be out for at least a year.
Yeah.
Because what you end up with is someone drops an album, you get the reviews for it on Saturday, and then it's Friday drop, Saturday you get a bunch of reviews, and then the album comes and goes, and it's not authentic. But like,
why don't we do this? Okay, so you know, this is I feel like this is meant to be that this is happening. So I have plans, you know, I'm about to hit up 200 episodes of this podcast. It's about to be 200. I have plans to kick some different shit into motion after 200. I want to implement some things. Yeah. One of the things I'm going to implement is I'm going to do a weekly album review that I'm going to incorporate. That's basically, you know, I don't listen to enough new stuff. You know, I find myself listening to Ready to Die over and over again, or like, you know, any sort of playlist, and I listen to the same shit over and over again. I need to expand my musical palette because people tell me all these things. Because the next question, or one of the questions, is 3 CDs that you take on a desert island. You know what I mean? So it's such a hard topic.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is, after episode 200 airs, I'm going to go through every desert island question that I did, get all those songs, and I'm going to put them all into a playlist on Spotify. But I'm going to start to review songs albums that I've never heard that people are telling me, because these are desert island questions. These obviously are people's favorite for a reason. So I'm going to start chopping at them.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do it, we should do it.
Yeah. No, I really want to talk about just albums that are older than at least a year.
Yeah.
And then because like you can let them marinate, you just let them ride. Can you let them ride? What are the highs like? What are the lows of the album like? You know, it's important. But yeah, I'll help out with it.
That's what I'm saying. Let's hold each other accountable with this. Let's do it because it's going to be, you know, and you're obviously more musical than I am, so you know we can work together at it if you want.
For sure.
And it'll be interesting because you obviously will probably put me on some shit that I don't know, but I think it would be interesting. It would be interesting. It would be fun. It would just be something fun to do to just expose yourself to some new shit.
For sure.
And I'm sure that we definitely have some stuff that we don't know about, but I'm trying to do every genre of music. Like, don't matter what it is. Yeah. Someone gave me a Miles Davis Kind of Blue album, and
I bought that for my brother for Christmas.
I was never a jazz person, but this dude, the way he spoke about jazz, he I want to understand it.
Yeah.
I've listened to it probably 40 times, 40 times. And every time I listen to it, I hear a little bit more. But still, it just, at first it was just sounded like a bunch of people in a room playing their instruments to their own beats and just over this, recorded all together. But now I could hear like the beauty of it a little bit more. But it's complex. But I'm trying to like expand my taste with it all. And because I got friends who listen to all these new artists, and I'm just like, I don't even know how you find all this new shit.
I love the new artists.
I know, and I got to figure out more of it. I got to do some more. Okay, we'll work that into play.
For sure.
You picked 3 movies then, right?
Yeah, the 3 movies were Hitch, 500 Days of Summer, and
Avengers
Infinity War. Yeah.
Do you read?
I read a bit.
Okay. I usually ask people 3 books to take on a desert island.
Yeah. So the first book, I'll go over some of the books I read over quarantine. I read a book called How to Break Up with Your Phone.
Okay.
And that one I really enjoyed.
I bet you did.
Yeah, because it reading it alone helped me like not be on my phone as much. But it gave like tangible steps on how to like not be on it so much and
break habits.
Yeah, just break habits and
Are you
stuff.
someone that's like big on it?
So before quarantine, I was averaging like 6 to 8 hours a day. And then but I was working an office job too, so I was just like,
I know, but it sucks to be able to see them like counts
the
on
numbers,
like what they're showing you.
Then when quarantine hit, I was like 10 to 12 hours a day.
Yeah, but it's like, what are you doing? Like, what else can you do?
Yeah,
it's like your business. It's basically what it is. It's like you're working on business. So that's how I would justify it. But like now, I actively am. I used to be addicted to the point where if my phone was dying, I would have like anxiety. Like if I was somewhere at a show and I was on like 15%. That's all I thought about was like my phone being dead and not being able to like contact anyone or get a phone call, whatever, dumb shit.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, I'll turn that motherfucker off.
For sure.
Throw it right out.
Actually, I'm not gonna bring that book. I got 3 good ones. The first book is the Hip-Hop Yearbook.
Okay.
That one is written by Ice-T and illustrated by, his name's like Andre something, but it's the Hip-Hop Yearbook. They give you the best hip hop song of every year since hip hop started.
Oh, wow.
I think from like 78 to 2014.
I think the book came out in
2015. Yeah, the book is really good. It gives you the best song in hip hop every year. And then what it does is it gives you like honorable mentions or like,
I love that,
songs or songs that are like arguable too.
Man, I might have to grab one of those.
That's a really good book. And I love the illustrator too. So I would take that book. I would take Alone Together. Alone Together is this book about, it's just like a book of loose essays and poetry.
Yeah.
All inspired by like the first month of quarantine.
Yeah.
And so when everybody was like feeling those emotions, like being alone,
Wow.
like worrying about people, there's like happy essays, sad essays. Like
I never heard about that.
Yeah, it's called Alone Together. I really enjoyed that book. I started reading that in like I got it around the time it came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was basically like all these essays were written like within that first month or two of quarantine.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
too.
I think it's like 150 different like essays or writings in one book. Yeah. It's
That's
really
probably
good.
heavy.
Yeah, there's like sad essays, happy ones. It's like literally it runs the gamut. It's the most relatable.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I don't like I don't want all just the highlights of things. I want to know, I want to hear like the shit that people are going through.
Yeah, I mean, there's writings about death, and then there's writings about like something good that happened to somebody, and there's
because that's life. I mean, there's good and bad in it.
Yeah,
for sure. All right.
So the Hip-Hop Yearbook, Alone Together, and then I think the last book I would take is it's like this Angela Davis book. I can't remember. It's a small red book that I have. I read it a couple years ago.
So I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
Freedom is a constant struggle.
Yeah, the small red book. Yep, Freedom is a constant struggle. Yeah, I love Angela Davis. My uncle was a Black Panther, and so that history and like that movement and stuff is very important. And to be able to hear from surviving Panthers and things like that, Angela Davis is like,
and to like hear the actual accounts of what's going on with it.
GOAT, intellectual freedom, like LGBT, like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Those are good choices. That sounds like a very That sounds like a very good range out of 3 books. You know what I mean? Like there's some powerful stuff, there's some fun stuff with the yearbook, and then there's some, some stuff to like, help you in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good choice. Okay, now the hard stuff. 3 CDs.
So hard.
What was the first CD you ever bought?
No.
I want to know. I'll tell you what mine was.
I'm going to tell you, but when my friend Cam hears this, he's going to laugh because he makes fun of me. The first CD I ever bought was Alicia Keys' Diary.
Why is that funny?
Because most of my friends, their first CD was like Master P or Biggie or something.
No, they're lying.
Well,
they're lying because it was probably something funnier than that in the beginning.
Yeah.
I guess not. My first CD that I ever bought was from Circuit City and Century 3, and it was Limp Bizkit. And I remember that distinctively, but
that's very
specifically.
You're a very supportive person because you're like, oh, your little album. No, it's not so bad. I bought Limp Bizkit.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's like, I bought Limp Bizkit back then. It's like, what do you expect? I was like probably, what year did that even come out? Probably whenever I was in like 5th grade.
Yeah.
Something crazy. Alicia Keys is fire though.
I love Alicia Keys, but also when we were younger, we weren't allowed to listen to like a lot of rap and stuff. And so we were just.
My brother was 6 years older than me, so it's like my brother did bring home. He was the one that had Master P, all the No Limit Soldier shit, like all of it. Bone Thugs and Harmony. I was listening to that. He put me on all the good shit.
Well, see, I'm the older brother, and so I came home with a million burnt CDs.
Yeah.
Of like everything.
What a time to be alive. A book of burnt CDs.
Yeah, and put my brother on.
That's the best.
Yeah, there was no way to put me on.
You were the coffee filter. I mean, that was cool about him. It's like he already had to deal with like, he told me what was cool. He was wearing like Johnny Blaze shit, and like I was wearing, I just wanted to be what he was wearing.
Yeah.
So, that's what it was. And it's notorious that everyone in McKeesport loves Bone Thugs and Harmony, and that was like what him and all of his friends were playing at all times. So that was like, that's just like, it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
A quick shot of it. Okay, second.
Wait, did I give you a first CD?
No, you didn't. Actually.
No, I told you my first CD I ever bought.
You told me.
Okay,
that didn't count.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count.
I'm not
Alicia
taking
Keys
Alicia Keys' Diary. I'm over Diary. Okay, so the first album, and this is not a ranking.
That's all right.
The first album that I'm going to take with me is Krungbin's Mordecai album.
I don't even know what that is.
Krungbin is they're a trio. They're a band from Houston. They do like psychedelic rock.
How do you spell that?
Krungbin is KHRAUNGBIN.
I might. Hold on. Just hold on. Notification. PK delay drop. KR.
Oh, yeah, it's his birthday.
Yeah, 222.
Yeah.
Two world. Did you say KR?
KH.
Or KH?
RAU.
I have like songs by them.
Yeah, they're really good.
Texas Sun.
Yeah, Texas Sun is that. They just released Texas Moon.
I'm gonna have to check that out because that's it. That's what I mean. That's like some shit that spurs me wanting to like listen to an album and really listen to it like front to back, whether I hate it or love it, shit on it or build it up. It's like we need to have that. I feel,
yeah, for sure.
The world needs another person listening and reviewing other people's arts.
yeah.
All right, so I'll give you that.
Are we on?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It don't stop recording. Whenever I hit this right here, it leaves like a red
that's
line.
like a mark.
Yeah,
for
it leaves
you
a timestamp there.
Okay. That's dope.
It's dope. A little bit dope.
Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be Krungbin's Mordecai album. The next one is gonna be Currency's Pilot Talk Trilogy.
100%.
I'm kind of cheating with that, but
that's all right.
Yeah.
I'll allow it because Currency. I've said this on here numerous times. If I could choose to be any level of celebrity, Currency is that.
Currency is it.
Currency even says in one of his lyrics, he says, I'm famous enough to get in for free.
Yeah.
But I'm chopping it up a little bit, but that's what it is. Wearing sweatpants, riding clean ass rides.
Yeah.
Just chilling. And it's like he could walk around, and I'm sure, it's not going to be like Wiz or like fucking Justin Bieber, where everyone in the world is going to know who that is.
Yeah.
A select few are going to know.
Yeah. And it's going to be the coolest few.
Yeah, the coolest few.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's like if someone is wearing a jet, like a jet hoodie, you're good with it.
He's like the pioneer of like that lifestyle,
like that
rap
chill
sort of stuff. Yeah.
Very laid back. Plus everyone he hangs around with is like, you know, usually pretty good. Like even like the youngins that he's signing on, like all dope at music.
Yeah. There's
Currency's underrated.
Oh yeah.
Massively underrated.
I've been on Currency since Where the Cash At, and then I think he had a mixtape. I think it's called like Independence Day or something. I can't remember.
I mean, how many does he even have?
A million.
Yeah,
a million.
It's insane. You think
he
he got more mixtapes than Lil B?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, because Lil B slowed down.
Yeah, I guess so. For a minute there, he was doing like 20 a year.
Oh yeah, and they were like
40 tracks.
Yeah, 40 to 100 tracks.
Wild. Okay, that's good. I'll give you all of the Currency's discography.
No, well, not the discography, just the Pilot Talk trilogy.
That's fine. I'll give you it though.
Yeah. And then I'll go with of all the albums. All right, I'm having a tough time with this because I love Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
I love every Kanye album, Life of Pablo and before.
That's exactly where I am.
Yeah.
Really. Did you watch a documentary?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance to. I want to be able to sit down and like really watch it.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
I am not a big Kanye guy.
Yeah.
As far as a human being in the media, I just think he's wild. Obviously, you know, he's crazy. But his documentary makes people understand why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
The fact that he had people filming the entire time. And
Yeah.
I'm watching it and I'm just like, this is the wildest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's unreal. And the music, from the music to, you know, the interviews.
Just the vision of his life.
Yeah.
And I didn't respect that enough because of how out of pocket some of the shit he does is. And like, you know, but after I watch this, like my buddy is a very, very big Kanye fan and I shit on him a lot just to basically to poke at him.
Yeah.
But
that's how I do J. Cole fans.
Oh yeah.
J. Cole fans are so much fun to troll.
I know because they're like, you know, live or die.
Yeah, they're like
you ain't talking shit on it.
he's the best rapper ever made.
Definitely not my favorite, but
you don't agree?
Yeah, I know. It's like they got to die on that hill. But the documentary really is incredible.
Yeah. So I think, you know, forget it. I'm gonna go with Toro y Moi's Anything in Return album.
Okay.
I love that album a lot too.
Okay.
Obviously it's not Jay-Z or Kanye level, but it feels good.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Don't need to be Jay-Z or Kanye level.
No, but I feel like I chose Toro over Jay-Z and Kanye. But I did.
That's all right.
It's all right. Yeah.
I'll allow it. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
Okay. Third to last question is something called the Death Row Meal. So,
oh no,
Death Row Meal is, you ever read them articles? People get put to death. They get a last meal, whatever they want.
Yeah.
If you get to pick an appetizer, main course, dessert, and a beverage.
See, this is hard because I'm not a foodie.
What?
I'm not
a foodie at all?
No, I like if you tell me something that's good and you tell me to try it, I'll try it and I'll let you know.
Are you a picky eater?
No, I'm not. I'll try just about anything. The only thing I don't really eat is pork.
Okay.
Which my friends make anytime they see me eating pork, they make fun of me.
I know you didn't bring me no swine.
Yeah, right. So for the appetizer, I don't know. I'll just give you a dish that I like. My aunt's macaroni and cheese. If I'm on death row, I just need my aunt's macaroni and cheese.
That's fine.
Yeah, my aunt Dee Dee's macaroni and cheese.
Simple as that.
Just give me that. Yeah, appetizer, main course, and dessert. Just give me that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I feel like that I can't even just like let that. What's your favorite place to eat around here? You got to eat a lot?
I love the restaurants around here. Bar Botanico is really good.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. I like there's a chicken shop in East Liberty. Bird on the Run.
Oh
like
yeah, Bird on the Run.
Yeah.
They're right next to Muddy Waters.
Mm-hmm. I like burgers. The spot in Lawrence. Shout out Fiore.
Yeah.
Who else? Yeah, I like a lot
you're
of places.
A foodie, kinda.
Yeah.
You're a foodie.
Well, yeah, I can go around like I get the same thing every time. Like anytime at this restaurant, like any of these restaurants, I get the same thing every time.
That's all right.
And then
I'm kind of the same way. I'm a buffalo chicken mark.
Yeah, if you have a burger, then I want to taste your burger. I want to taste your best burger.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the best burger?
That's hard. Burgers is really good.
It's burgers.
Burgers is really.
I don't know if I've ever had theirs.
But then Cobra's burger is unreal too.
I didn't have that either.
Look, and the Kaya burger.
Oh, I did have that.
Kaya burger.
The Kaya slept on, I feel.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a long time, but they had their hot chicken nights.
Yeah.
You ever been there?
No.
It was like a Thursday nights they were doing hot chicken. It was unreal. I don't know. I'm a foodie. I just like eating.
Yeah, I mean, I love food.
I get it.
Yeah, I just.
But you don't get crazy particular in it.
No. I love I love cheeseburgers, and so that's kind of my baseline. When I go to a new restaurant, if they have like a signature burger, I'll taste that and like.
Have you tried? Have you ever tried that? The hell's that Moonlit Burger now?
No,
in Dormont.
No,
it's a smash burger spot that just opened up.
Huh?
It's pretty good. It's outrageous to go in there and try to eat. So I would call and get takeout, but you know it's good.
I'll try it out.
It's good. Are you what's your fast? Are you a fast food eater? Mm-hmm. What's your burger preference of a fast food? McDonald's. What about fries?
McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, Burger King has great fries, but it's McDonald's.
Burger King is the bottom of the barrel. I think Wendy's has the best burgers. I really do.
No.
But if you think about it, McDonald's has a burger that you eat.
Well, you said fries.
I know, but I'm talking about burgers. You also said they got the best burgers too. But I'm saying Wendy's probably got the best burgers in my taste. I just feel like they're better quality.
Yeah.
I feel like that they're put together with more fresh ingredients. But I don't hate McDonald's. I'll tell you that.
I love McDonald's. Well, all right. For fries, I'd have to go to McDonald's. For a burger, I love the Whopper.
Okay.
But I also love the Big Mac. McDonald's all the way.
I think Burger King tastes like a fake ass. I feel like it got a bottle that just said burger flavor and they're just dripping it all over their shit.
I do think sometimes the smoke flavor doesn't taste real.
It's fake.
But it's delicious.
I'll allow it. Okay, second to last question, probably the most telling question. If you're getting ready to go on a road trip, you get to go into a gas station and pick a snack. Last one, what would it be?
Oh, I love Planters.
Peanuts.
Yeah, no, Planters Trail Mix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love Planters Trail Mix.
The fruit or the chocolate?
Chocolate.
Yeah, I go with the chocolate. It's like candy.
Yeah.
Not healthy at all.
No. Well, there's protein.
Yeah, protein, I guess. A lot of sugar, too.
Yeah.
That's good. I'll allow that. Okay, last question. If you could have a conversation with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Alive or dead? Honestly, right now, it would probably be Zach Fox because he's hilarious. And
Who's Zach Fox?
Zach Fox is he's a comedian / rapper. He does whatever he has to do. But he's big on Instagram. He used to have a show on Viceland. He has Kenny Beats, the producer.
Yeah.
He has one of Kenny Beats' biggest songs because it's hilarious, called Jesus is the One.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Do you ever watch The Cave?
No.
Gotta watch. All right. So Kenny Beats, he does a lot of producing on the internet. He does live Twitch streams where he produces all this stuff. He has a show called The Cave.
I feel like I've heard about that.
Yeah, and he has different artists on. So he had Zach Fox.
Oh,
Denzel
The Cave.
Curry.
It's a room. I just saw Benny the Butcher on there.
Benny the Butcher. Great
fucking
episode.
Animal.
Great episode.
He's
Unreal.
an animal.
Thundercat was on it.
Really?
You got.
I'm gonna have to look at it because
DeMarco.
I just seen the Benny the Butcher where he was in the room, and I didn't know it was called The Cave, but I saw that video.
You gotta watch it. But so the song, Zach Fox did an episode, and he did a song called "Jesus Is the One," and it's hilarious. It's a hilarious song, but it's really catchy.
I'll have to look that up after this.
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on and talking to me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I think we had a good conversation. It was kind of tangential. We learned all different things and we talked about all kinds of different shit, but I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
I'm glad you did. What do you got coming up? Take a second to promote your, pages where people could find you, any events you got coming up, anything.
I'll give exact dates because I don't know when this will air.
It's coming out Thursday.
Oh, Thursday? Okay.
Yeah, you're coming out 24th.
March 19th, Trace Brewing, their 1 year anniversary. I'll be there DJing March 19th. Hopefully, if Brillo Box is open, we'll be at Brillo Box doing Slappers and Bangers that same night.
Okay.
So, yeah, March 19th is a big date, hopefully.
All right.
Yeah.
What about the Instagram? Plug the Instagrams.
Oh, the Instagram, the Arie __ Cole. So it's TheArie _ COLE. That's Instagram, SoundCloud.
What's your middle name?
Earl.
Okay, I was wondering where the RE comes from.
Yeah, so Arie Cole, first letter R for Ron, E for Earl. So instead of just like you take those initials and just say it, Arie.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't know where it came from though, and then I never noticed it. It says your name on your right under it.
Yeah,
I'm like, I guess I never looked at that.
Yeah, Arie, Ron E. Coleman.
I like it. All right, and I'll have everything linked below. You could swipe down, and then you could click on his links and figure out his accounts and follow him from there. But everyone else that's listening, I appreciate it as usual. I'm throwing the 200 episode party at Streets on Carson for to celebrate everything. I've been doing this for a long time, about to hit 200 episodes, and I'm fucking pumped about it. March 24th, Streets on Carson. I am renting it out, free to get in. No charge to anyone. Just come, pay for your own drinks. But I got you on food and everything else. It's going to be a fun time. The who's who of the city will be there. You're invited. I hope you can make it if you could be there.
I'm definitely pull up.
Everyone else that's listening, thanks for listening, and I'll call you right back.